Alrighty, welcome back everyone. We're gonna resume the action with some Fettuccine League as the Atlanta Pandas taking on the Montreal Stags. But first, welcome to the desk. Kill Hubris, how's it going tonight?
Going fantastic. Sunday night. Got some excellent United Rogue action lined up. Eastern Conference Fettuccine League. We got two teams still in the hunt. Atlanta at 3-3, Montreal at 2-4. This matchup is a good mid-season matchup. Try to get some momentum going into the playoffs and see if some teams can make it out of the hunt into the playoff picture.
Yeah, and both these teams are mighty close. Atlanta are ninth seed right now, and they're going up against the Jersey Jackals, sitting right above them in the eighth seed. Both of these teams are 3-3. This is a massive game for the Atlanta Pandas. Same can be said for Montreal. As we get into it here for game number one, there is a lot to be played for.
Yeah, and I've seen Atlanta high scoring, but also leaving the back door open a little bit. So we'll see. Montreal much slower scoring, a lot more saves. I think Jet has close to 20 saves on the season.
Holy moly.
So, yeah, good. So it seems like we might have a defensive versus offensive game. Let's see how that plays out.
Battle of
Go.
yin and yang here as we get into game number one as the Atlanta Pandas already stuck on their defensive end. Montreal kicking off with the fireworks to open up game number one, already getting themselves a shot on target. Certainly not what we were expecting to get into this game.
5 seconds in, and that one hit the top corner. The post with a save. Immediate offense by Atlanta, winning the kickoff. But far 0-0, 30 seconds in. Defense is holding up. For Montreal, Mojo take control of this ball, see if they can get it around Sky Dragon. Still pinned in their own corner. Big clear by Booster back at midfield. Atlanta, it's all going Atlanta's way. Almost another goal. Excellent save there by Montreal. I think that might have been Mo or Boots who made that. King Pig finally gets it out into Atlanta's zone. Right in front, Boots almost had a shot. Excellent touch, but out of it. 3D little bits. Atlanta back on attack.
Yeah, for the time being, Montreal, all the pressure to their name as they've come off with the majority of the shots coming into game number one. Haven't looked at the stats per se, but get the inkling that might be the case. King Pig can't find that one on target as Atlanta still looking, still hunting over on this offensive end. You can see some of these passes as well being developed, but the passing lanes have been shut down time and time again. Both teams recognizing that as a potential threat, but not the demolitions. They didn't see that one coming.
Atlanta's trying to get that demo, opening it up, but unable to get it on target. I was about to say I like to see that Montreal's getting out of their own half, but now we are back in it. Atlanta keeping on that pressure. You know, if you shoot it 30 times at the net, one of them is bound to go in. They are not afraid to send all three, as all three members are on Montreal's half. Montreal just trying to hang on here for dear life. They might be low on boost, and that shot's going to be the first one to go in. Jet 40 scored.
He does the work for Montreal as Sky Dragon as well getting involved over on the near post, setting up his teammate, putting Atlanta in a little bit of a tough spot, which they couldn't quite figure out how to deal with. A couple of minutes gone by, Atlanta on the back foot now.
Yeah, I might have had Atlanta and Montreal backwards. Sorry about that. Their initials are ATL and MTL. So, I don't know. My bad. But here we go. Oh, this is going to be another
Atlanta.
shot. Ooh.
Getting very close over on the offensive end, Hubris, but Atlanta can't punch their ticket for a second still. They're hunting and putting Montreal in the tough spot. You can see them running pretty low on boost. It's only Action. He's got a full tank to work with, and he's going to use a ton of it here in the midfield to break themselves out. Montreal in a very good spot here to take game number one with all the pressure to their name and then some.
Yes. Atlanta trying to break out now. I got it backwards. Sky Dragon. Montreal definitely keeping the pressure on. Only one goal though, so I mean, Atlanta able to keep it close. King Pig tries to get it around two players, but nothing doing. Montreal also showing that they got some defensive chops. Quick pressure, being quick to the ball, alleviate a lot of the defensive roles. Just get to a quick king pig,
Oh!
trying to get by the last. Oh man, we go.
A monster 50 over on the offensive end for the Atlanta Pandas. Now King Pig trying to make the most of the situation, but not the touch he was looking for. Mojo has to dive deep in order to remedy the offense, but at that point, he's gone for no avail. Atlanta now having to regroup over on their defensive end. Still in the hunt for that first goal. It's been an incredibly tall order, especially with Montreal. So cutthroat on the offensive end, looking for their opportunity to strike and get themselves a little bit of insurance credit.
Oh yeah, that second goal, you can really start spinning the house. You know, you got that 1 goal, or you got a 2 goal lead versus the 1 goal lead. You know, it changes a lot of things, especially like coming into a series. You want to break the ice. I think the big thing for Atlanta right now is maybe get this to 1-1 and see what this series takes you. First thing you got to do is get it into Montreal's half, which seems to be the tall order for tonight.
And Montreal keeping very good control of their corner boost, meaning that they're quite rarely starved on the defense. They're consistently able to make the clears necessary. They're going to be called upon here, but Atlanta has given them a ton of space to work with. Certainly not what Atlanta Pandas were looking for, as they've once again relinquished possession. Now having to find it out from their own half. Two players bunch into the corner, leaves King Pig in a very tough spot. And with that, we might be watching game number 1 come down to a close.
Basically, I have to pin the house here, and it is a long way from home. Montreal pretty much control from the first moment of this game. Never really relinquishing control. Atlanta still trying to break the ice. The shots are actually a lot closer than I expected. 4-3. What do you think? I mean, do you think Atlanta, if they can break the ice, do you think that they have a chance of making this series a barn burner?
I mean, it's very close. That 1 goal game speaks volumes. Atlanta Pandas, they've had more than their fair share of opportunities, good looks at net, just mere inches away from being able to capitalize. And imagine if one of those shots was a goal, we'd be looking at a lot different of a game number 1, but instead Montreal find themselves on top, and now they're going to be fighting for that match point. Atlanta Pandas certainly looking to prevent that.
So actually, ball possession went Atlanta's way, but the domination, where the ball was, constantly on Atlanta, and I think that's kind of what we saw. But the demos were even, the shots were even. I think there was a lot more even matchup than it. Well, the stats make it seem like it was a much more even matchup. I think Montreal was in control, but Atlanta not far off. Here we go after the kickoff. Boots collecting it, sending it back. Jet misses the touch, gets action, gets demoed. All right, we're seeing a different game plan coming out of Atlanta. Second game. That's a pass to King Pig. Nice pitch. Sends it back into the Montreal first attack of the game. No boost for Jet. Trying to act like he's got more than he's got in the tank. Back center. Somebody's gonna have to get back to this, or that's a free shot for Atlanta.
It's really night and day though here for Atlanta. I got to admit, these guys have turned it on towards the beginning of game number 1. Hubris consistently being able to get these offensive approaches is not something they could say they had throughout the course of game number 1. Dicey in the midfield, absolute chaos as Sky Dragon battles it out on the offensive end, takes a player out with them, and now Jet looking to bring the pain. It's gone slightly wide and King Pig turns it away.
From Atlanta, though, I've seen a lot of good third man discipline. Always seems to be one person back. They've let up one opportunity to go into net, particularly somebody back there. But when you're having trouble scoring, sometimes you got to send the house. You got to send that third person, keep the pressure on in order to get that first goal. And we are almost 2 minutes of the game. Either side has scored. A lot more pressure coming out of it. Boots back to center.
What you want to see here from Atlanta Pandas. Couple minutes remaining, and like you said, they've got it all right now over on the offensive end. Mojo as well getting involved with a couple of boosts to spare. You know he's going to be on the hunt looking for a demo. He's been looking for them at the beginning of game number 2, and you gotta feel like only a matter of time before Atlanta Pandas sticks it where it hurts. Montreal now struggling. Those 2 players, no shot worth getting into the back of the net there as Montreal happy to turn that one away, Hubris.
And now the demos are coming out of the woodwork, but it's not enough for Montreal to get one on net. They had 2 demos. One player left on Atlanta, but able to make the play that he needed to keep his team. Block is 0-0 halfway through. King Pig. What a save. Right place, right time by action. Boots around the corner. Boots and Jet seem to meet a lot in that corner. that'll be the Boot Jet corner. Jet shot on net. Not by Boots. These two are fighting each other on the field. Quite off. Mojo around the corner. Right, gets it around Sky Dragon. Big back center, just kind of booting it where it could be dangerous. You know, Montreal's got to prove that they've got what it takes this game. Atlanta just coming at it. I mean, this is a complete change from the first game.
You're right, this is entirely night and day. King Pig there once again to bring the pain. He's got himself the first for the Atlanta Pandas. They've been looking for it all game long, and finally the Montreal wall comes crumbling at the hands of King Pig. First, and with the amount of offensive pressure, with the amount of possession Atlanta has been able to maintain, it's going to be a real struggle just for Montreal to get the ball. Forget scoring, Hubris.
I mean, Montreal's kickoffs have been early pressure. I mean, we saw that in the first game, and we're still seeing it in the second game, but Atlanta able to withhold or stand that pressure, and then able to apply their own in game 2. Boots, big shot all the way down, stopped by Jet. Boots still staying on it. It was an excellent pass that Boots that opened up this game for Atlanta. Now Jet trying to find his buddy Sky Dragon, cherry picking. Action, big shot, 2 players. Atlanta there to stop it. Boots looking for Mojo again. Another great pass by Boots.
My goodness. An absolute bullet out of the nose of Mojo as well. I mean, that was on his nose, and he could not have placed it better. Picture perfect from the Atlanta Pandas. What more could you ask for?
But I mean, Boots has been the difference maker in game 2, setting up both of his teammates for 2 excellent goals. This is going to be an easy shot for, oh my goodness. I cursed it. My bad, y'all. Montreal needed that to get back in the game. They had an open net to shoot at, and I said it out. I said the quiet part out loud. My bad, y'all. But they're going to try to wind down this clock. Oh my goodness. Mojo going for another shot just over the net. 2-goal lead here, 30 seconds. They just got to possess the ball. Wind down the clock. The clock is on your side.
Yeah, you gotta imagine that if Montreal wanted to come back here, had to happen more than a couple seconds ago, and with that, pretty safe to say that game number 2 is a watch. Atlanta Pandas make the comeback in this series, and my goodness, I mean, we've been talking about it all game long. What a phenomenal difference. Whatever this team talk about in between games has done wonders. These passing plays as well, courtesy of Boots, they have just been bullets time and time again. Montreal have a very tall order in front of them, shutting down some of these passing plays in order to get into game number 3, Hubris.
I would just like to point out here, Boots on the bottom of his team's leaderboard, but we all know, everybody in this lobby knows Boots playmaker. Boots was out there making things happen. So those points don't always matter. I mean, it's good to have the glory, setting up your teammates like that. He was, the offense ran through Boots. Atlanta. This has been a tale of 2 games. Montreal mostly, yeah, I mean, look at that. Field domination went from 58 to 57 the other way. So we've seen two completely different games, 4 completely different teams, I guess, if you have 2 teams playing 2 different ways. Oh man, math, harder or what? But here we go into game 3. I don't know what to expect.
4 different teams. I don't even think I can count that high, Hubris. Game number 3. Let's get it as both these teams dead equal. Montreal on the hunt to look for the upper hand after dropping that game number 2. They're going to be on a downswing in terms of momentum, and it's going to take a bit of effort to bring themselves back. Atlanta Pandas, they've got it all going. All the passing plays, all the shots, you name it, they've got it. Game number 3, the fireworks already starting up.
I will say that Montreal's kickoffs are going to keep them in a lot of series. They've won the kickoff battle. They may not have won game 2, but they are they are applying pressure off the kickoff. Oh, Mojo dunked it off. Going back to Boots, back to Mojo. Team plays kind of winds itself into the corner though. Mojo's out in front, plays it safe, tries to keep it in the corner. Montreal in their corner. That's where Atlanta likes to keep Montreal, where it's safe. King Pig finds the top bar. Oh man, that was 2 bounces. It still did not find his home.
Yeah, and as such, Atlanta not too happy about that, but they've kept possession, and now Mojo gets it right back. He's got himself a first here in game number 3. They score first once again, and just like game number 2 where they scored first, they held down the fort, added themselves a second goal, and walked out with game number 2 in Montreal. Cannot afford to watch history repeat itself here, Hubris.
Don't look now, but Boots has assisted 3 of the 4 goals, and the other goal he couldn't have assisted. It was for the Montreal. So Boots just being the setup man for Atlanta. God, I think everybody just drove at that ball. I saw like 4 different fakes there. Jet leaving it down, but Boots takes it. As I'll do it myself this time. No assist on that one.
I mean, what more can you say about Boots' 100% goal participation over the course of the entirety of game 2 and thus far of game number 3 is no statistic to be scoffed at. This man is absolutely ridiculous right now, in Montreal have no answer to shutting him down. They are completely stumped and at their wits' end. How on earth are they going to solve this problem?
Go back and check the replay. Maybe one of his teammates was in the net and he was just trying to pass it to his teammate in the net. That seems to be Boots' port of call, is passing it to his team. But anyway, Boots taking some glory on his own now. Montreal have got to figure this out. They have gone, 9 minutes with, and I am on it. Casper's first tonight. I can't finish my sentence without Montreal shutting me up. Nice shot by Sky Dragon here. Excellent control, putting it on net, finishing it, getting his team back in the game.
Yeah, well, we were a little bit worried there, like you mentioned, a handful of minutes of unscored Rocket League for Montreal, and then finally break the dry spell. Huge here for the Confidence. Montreal now on the hunt for another, courtesy of Jet, Sky Dragon as well. In the corner, looking to do some damage, but can't get much farther than Mojo this time around. Action has to take the lead as he finds himself in the driver's seat. Jet dives deep. Only one player left back on the side of Montreal, which leaves the door open for a counter. If Atlanta can speed it up.
Yeah, I mean, Montreal's having to send the house. I mean, the first game they were in possession. They were swarming the ball on Atlanta's half. And now they're trying to get that same offensive spark. I think they need to worry about controlling it in Atlanta's half. And I think that will bring them back to success. They've still got 2 minutes to put 1 goal together. Sky Dragon takes possession in the corner. Air Jags it around Mojo. That ends up just being a pass to King Pig. They need to get back. Jet is the only one back. Trying to pass it to his teammate at midfield, cut off by Boots. Boots, another pass to center. Mojo is there. What a save by Action.
And it's a good thing Action turned that one away. Boots, he was looking for another assist on his card, and Montreal this time around are looking for some more of that. Minute and change. Action starting to become do or die for Montreal here, as they may drop to match point if they can't find a second. Mojo turns it away in the nick of time. A little dicey over there on the near post, but Atlanta Pandas alive, albeit by a thread, Hubris.
For Montreal, you got to come in here and attack them in the corner. You got to get quick opportunities. 1 minute left. You can't let them dance around in the corner. Actually going to follow this. Gets it around 1. Mojo takes possession. Sends it to Boots. Cut off by Jet behind his net. Sky Dragon getting Boost, gathering possession. The ball is still just hanging out in front of Montreal's net. Now it's midfield. Who is going to take possession? Who's going to take control? Boots puts a shot on net. Top post, kicks it out.
That's a bit of a heartbreak for Atlanta Pandas, but still What? They found themselves this goal. Mojo credited for the third for Atlanta Pandas, but unfortunately things went a little south on the defensive end as Action couldn't find the touch he was looking for, and unfortunately he's gone and sent it into the back of his own net. Montreal really gonna have to dig deep here for game number 3 in order to avoid a quick match point.
I mean, that was 50-50, but man, it came up hills. I mean, it's good lord, that 50-50 went up to the ceiling and then somehow found an angle. You know, it wasn't on goal by Action, but I mean, he had to make a touch there to get the ball out. But ball don't lie, maybe. Okay, I was about to say they got immediately one back. Then Karma coming back to control, but Montreal have got to find what was working for them in game 1 and get back to it. One goal and basically 10 minutes worth of effort is not going to win you many series as Atlanta takes game 3.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys did in between games 1 and 2, but this is not the same Atlanta we saw at the beginning of game 1. These guys have come here to win, and now they are on a pure good path to do so. If they continue even half this pressure in game number 4, Hubris, then this could be over more quickly than we'd like.
The stonks graph for for Montreal is going down. I mean, the first game they had 56 or 57% domination. Then it went down into the 40s. Now it's in the 30s. They really need to like take possession of the ball, not give it up. I mean, Atlanta, especially keep it away from Boots. No, for goodness sake, he's had the hot hand tonight. Anything you can do to keep it out of his hands might be beneficial. So Atlanta up 2-1 on the Stags. Can they force a game 5? Montreal got, once again, watch the kickoff. They have had the kickoff advantage, but they just have not been able to take advantage of that. Put one on the board.
Yeah, Montreal is certainly hoping that this will change here in game number 4. Atlanta Pandas have scored first for both games 2 and 3, and both times they've come out on top quite cleanly. Montreal need to find themselves a first here, get themselves some early momentum before Atlanta Pandas find themselves back in their own home. Atlanta consistently have been able to find the speed in the midfield as well with some of these passing plays like you mentioned. Montreal have been struggling to keep up the pace here on the offensive end. That's got to change as Jet gets it into the midfield over to Sky Dragon as well, who gets involved, but Atlanta more than happy to turn it away.
Yeah, but I mean, look, now we've been on Atlanta's half most of this game. I mean, Montreal turning it up to 11. See if we can turn some of this possession into Sky Dragon possession midfield. King Pig back, trying to find Boots. Boots gets gets booted to the corner. Get back in the center. Sky Dragon get off the back wall. They're both gonna follow. Sky Dragon actually going for a bump on goal. Excellent idea there. Unfortunately, unable to get a shot on target. Who's looking for King Pig centered? Oh man, might have telegraphed that a little bit, but I think King Pig had a shot there.
Yep, it was a golden opportunity gone to the wayside. This time around, Atlanta Pandas still on the hunt to find the first King Pig once again towards Boots. This dynamic duo has been connecting over and over, both in game 3 and at the beginning of game 4. Mojo, a ridiculous angle to open up the scoreboard. Atlanta once again, they've scored first. What is this?
That was a double touch angle right there. I mean, somebody must be doing some training packs. That was a excellent angle. Solo play, Mojo just taking care of it for his team, putting on the backpack. I think that's the first goal from Atlanta that Boots hadn't been a part of. So let's let Mojo have his moment. That was an excellent shot. And now they have a 1-goal lead, and they finish it off in game 4. Montreal gonna have to score again to force a game 5. Sky Dragon around the corner. Leaves it. Actually chasing this down. Gonna gather boost. Leaves the boost. Leaves the ball for Jet. Now he is gotta get back. Gonna be low on boost. Be interesting. Nobody there for Sky Dragon to pass it to. Montreal got to come up with offense, going to come up with pressure here. Jet leaves it in front of his net. Sky Dragon got to stay down or go
Oh
up.
no.
Got caught in no man's land there. King Pig finishing, putting him up, team up 2 with a half to go.
Yep, and ridiculous speed by King Pig over on the offensive end. Been demonstrated as well at the beginning of game number 4. King Pig been putting a ton of shots on net, consistently peppering the Montreal defense. And halftime in regulation for game number 4, Atlanta in a beautiful spot to lock out this series. Montreal, since game number 1, have had little to no response aside from that singular goal we saw back in the previous game. Jet, he's there, got his stretch, but can't make the shot to reality. Sky Dragon as well, trying to find his teammate Action. They connect, it's on target, but King Pig back in the nick of time.
So we kind of expected a defense out of Atlanta. There's also seeing quite a lot of offense. The game 1 was the only time where they were kind of slow off the draw, but they have found their mojo. Boots. Oh my goodness, Action takes it and puts it on net. That's the one they needed. Minute 45 left to go. They have definitely got a chance here in game 4.
Yeah, Atlanta, uncharacteristic from them. Usually they've got that backboard on lock, and this is one of the rare occasions Montreal able to take advantage of a quick mistake on the defensive end. Now, looking for another minute and change remaining on the clock. Mojo over to his teammate Boots. Off target this time around, but Atlanta able to set up the pressure once again as Montreal, player after player, taking to the skies, but to no avail. All of them have come up empty and are still looking to break out of their own half.
Atlanta playing hot and loose. They had a double commit there, but Montreal unable to take advantage of that. Kind of pinned down in defensive mindsets. They were unable to capitalize. Double commit. Mojo. Boots. Kind of miscommunication there, but Boots, see what he's got. He finds a teammate. Gets dunked. Action takes possession. Don't forget it was Action's read that put them down one, or put them within reach. Within a 1 goal. Action passes. Center floating in front of the net. Atlanta needs to get this out in the corner. Sky Dragon takes possession. 0 boost, looking for a teammate. Back to Jet. Or Action and Jet. I mean, it's 40 seconds. You gotta send what you got. So maybe Jet didn't have enough boost, or he had run out of plans there. Back ball. Safe place to ball for Atlanta.
Do or die here from Montreal in the closing seconds of regulation. 3-3 in their season. By the way, if they win this game, they have a shot at putting themselves into the playoffs, or at least putting themselves in a good spot for playoffs, I should say. But with only a couple seconds remaining, Atlanta still keeping themselves with possession. King Pig dives deep, all in front of the net. Montreal, how on earth are they going to keep this up? As Atlanta still holding on for the time being, ball still alive. 0 seconds, but no cigar. Atlanta come out on top. They finish off the series, Hubris.
Yeah, I mean, game 1, like I said, they just had a slow start. But after they came alive in game 2, they never relinquished the lead back to Montreal. Montreal having to go home and take what they've learned. Once again, like, they had a great kickoff, so they do have a lot to build on, but they're making it tougher on themselves as the season goes on. Atlanta Pandas making their role a little bit easy, kind of get into that playoff hunt as a bit of about halfway done. Very United Rogue. But excellent 4-game series, and we got one more for you tonight.
For sure. Stay tuned with us. We've got another coming up real soon, if I'm not mistaken. The top of the hour, we should be seeing some Macaroni League action. It's going to be Dallas Vanguard and the Phoenix Thunder taking each other heads on, so don't go anywhere.